Welcome back to the Good Hustle podcast. This is episode 6, a really special episode. Right?
This is going to be an amazing episode. I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm very, very excited about this.
So today we're joined by an awesome guest. This is Erby. So let's do some stats for you real quick. So arguably, you're the most prolific quarterback in Pennsylvania state history, right? So you have 3 state championships, correct?
Yep.
Back-to-back, senior and junior year.
Yep, slipped up sophomore year.
That's okay. That's all right.
Slipped up.
4-time All-State first team quarterback, 2-time Football Player of the Year, Max Preps All-American, and PA all-time leading passer in 647 different stats. I just made that number up. It's probably true.
My goodness, dude.
Yep.
That's just silly. That's like, what are we reading right now? That is ridiculous.
It is. So one of the cool things to me is, and then you were just awarded the Sports Illustrated High School Offensive Player of the Year, which is legit. Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
And it's fan voted, but you literally had 40,000 people on your side for that voting. Like, to have that community and amount of people like literally rooting for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's just like the talk. It was just about like the talk around the town. Like everybody coming up to me like, "Oh, I voted for you," and everything like that. Basketball games were like, "Oh, where's the link at? Click your vote," and everything like that. So I mean, it was crazy to believe that I actually got so many votes because we were going back and forth with this kid from Florida. So
I saw that. What was his name again?
I forgot his name, but I'm pretty sure he's committed to Texas Tech, and it was the kid.
That's where Patrick Mahomes went,
yeah,
right?
DJ Lagway. DJ Lagway, he's committed to Florida.
Yeah,
5-star quarterback. So we were all going back and forth. So just to be recognized with those guys, I mean, it's truly
that is unbelievable, dude.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Well, let's kind of go back to the beginning for you. Little kid. So are you 18?
18.
So as a little kid, you started playing sports. How old were you, and what were your favorite sports in the beginning?
Oh, I kind of got a funny story. Like when I first got introduced to football, so I was about 4 years old, and usually when you play at the Little League level, you don't start until 5 years old. So my dad suited us up early. We were always around the game. So he coached for Still High. I'm pretty sure he was the assistant coach, and we were always around the game. So we always were like, "Dad, let's." I just want to try it out for 1 year. I want to try it out early. So he put us on the field, and actually, my older brother Damien. I think he was 6'7", so he was around the age he was pretty good at his age. So they were blowing out a team called Redland. So Redland, and he put us in the last 30 seconds in the game. So I'm 4 years old playing corner with loose socks on, with baggy sleeves, and my dad was like, "Just go out there and see what it's like." So the first play, I get depleted. Like, I flip 5 yards back, and I'm just laying on the floor. And my mom was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna go get him." On the first play. First play I got in 30 seconds left. My mom was like, "Oh my God," she was about to cry and everything like that. And my dad actually, he was like, "This is a make or break moment. He's either going to get up and want to play again, or he's just never going to want to touch the game again." And nobody came out there and got up and was kind of scared the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that was just a lesson going forward.
Yeah, and especially being 4 years old.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you can remember it kind of like it was yesterday.
Yeah,
so
clocked.
I think I've seen this video on YouTube. I'm pretty sure. No, I'm just kidding. So getting into football at age 4, and then you're playing baseball, basketball. So that was kind of like how you started.
Yep.
And we're going to kind of get into this little question a little bit later, but my dad was my coach a lot of times as a kid growing up.
Yeah.
And it was one of the greatest things about sports for me as a kid was just having him there and being a role model for me and being a good coach. And he didn't treat me any different. Like I was just the same as anybody else. He actually said JP on the field. He didn't call me John. Mm-hmm. He called me JP. I had a different name on the field. We play a game, JP, get in the car on the ride home, I'm John again. So I love how he totally treated me differently than he did like as his son. So
yeah. So John and I came to your basketball game the other day, and that was really fun. It was a good time, even though we didn't win, guys. I'm sorry, like Steel didn't, we didn't come through, but no, it was a really, really fun game. And there was 2 things I noticed about you that I was curious about going in. I wanted to see, one, does he have that same QB vision in the basketball game? Because I was a basketball guy. I didn't play football in high school. I didn't play baseball, but I love basketball a lot. So I wanted to see that QB vision kind of turn over into the basketball game. And also, I wanted to see if you used your football body in the basketball game. And there's 2 things I noticed right away. The first thing I noticed was you guys were playing Bishop McDevitt.
Yep.
And there was this really tall, he was good, but there was a tall, kind of skinnier kid who was guarding you, who was playing the 5 on their team.
Yep.
And I was like, man, John, like, Alex should just go right into that dude, like right away. Like he should just go right through him and go to the basket. And like, I think it was the first or second possession you guys had the ball. You were like, hey, give me the ball right now, out of the perimeter. And you just ran straight through him.
Dude, he backed into him and he was like, oh,
you ran straight through him. Of course, you got the bucket and everything. And then the other thing was the passing vision. There was multiple times in the game where you were either at the half court or you had just gotten the ball in the perimeter and you were looking downfield right away, literally like a football game. Yeah. You're like, is this guy open at the back? And there was one play, I think you were out at the 3-point line where John and I were amazed that you caught the ball and immediately just threw it straight to your guy. No one on Bishop McDevitt saw the guy behind them, and that was an easy bucket too.
The crazy thing about that, we had a couple of wide receivers on the team. So number 4, Cameron Chisholm. So throughout that whole game, I'm just like, go down the court, and we're just going to aim it like it's a back shoulder fade. So
that is awesome.
We do a back shoulder. We do a million back shoulder fades like every day before practice. I mean, it's just a really nice technique and a nice attribute to have at the next level. So we're just practicing, just getting ready for the next level. And actually in the game, he's like, yeah, Alex, just throw me a back shoulder fade. So I threw it to him like 4 times because, I mean, he's 6'5" and really athletic on the court. And it's really, we have athletes on the team. So, I mean, anybody on the team can go up and get the ball like their wide receiver. So, I mean, just to put my guys in the best position like that and then just have that QB vision on and off the field. I mean.
Yeah, so has the vision and like a lot of people talk about speed of the game, right? Like you have to get to the point where the game slows down for you so you can actually see that stuff in real time. Has that stuff always come naturally to you, or is that something you had to like learn over time?
I would say it was just being patient. This coming from football to basketball, because we usually play until December and everything like that. So the first couple of games of basketball, I'm still getting my feet under me. I'm still tired down the court. I had to get out every 2 minutes. So, I mean, luckily you guys came at the right time when I was just starting to get in the groove.
We did that on purpose.
Oh, so it's just a time management thing. So you just got to get back into the game and everything like that. And then the game obviously slows down. I mean, in that game, I think I felt the best, the most comfortable in the position that I was. I mean, I think I didn't get out in the second half. So to have my lungs out, like lungs back and everything like that and get back. I mean, last night, I think I had about like 21 points.
Nice.
So
Let's go, man.
We lost, but to a good Bowling Springs team.
Oh, yeah. Because we talked about that before.
Yeah, Bowling Springs is really good.
Because if it was in Bowling Springs, I was going to go because I live right down the street.
We actually play them next Friday at Bowling Springs.
Oh, do you?
So
maybe we'll be there.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Oh, yeah, they're really good.
You guys want to go? All right, cool. All right. We have some studio audience today, just a heads up. So, so let me ask you a question. So your brother, Andrew, twin brother, you're 6 minutes older, plays... Just want to throw that out there. He plays football and basketball with you. What's it like having him by your side all these years as your twin? And probably you guys are each other's biggest fans.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I mean, at the age where we started playing football, I mean, we hated doing everything. Like, my mom wanted his dresses the same. She wanted us to put us in the same uniform. If I had an arm sleeve on in football games, he wanted to have an arm sleeve on. So it kind of got annoying. But as we got older, we just had that brotherly love type moments. Like if somebody on the field would do something, we would have each other's back and everything like that. We're just pushing like each other to our best. I mean, a funny thing is, so it's just like a competitive mindset we always have. I mean, even on the football field, if he sees me work out, he has to go work out. Even if I wake up 2 minutes early before school, if he even hears me walking in the hallway, he has to get up.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's just that brotherly twitch that we ultimately grown up to have. But I mean, just having him and I mean, he pushes me at moments. I push him at moments. But, I mean, he's like one of the real reasons why I keep going. And, I mean, there's moments I don't feel like going to practice. But if I see him and walk out the door and if he can do it, has the ability to do it, I'm going to go out there and do it and go out and work my butt off.
And I think it's probably, I mean, can you attribute that to a lot of your growth and how you play today in all your sports?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, he holds me accountable. I mean, I might be in a game or anything like that, and I might make a wrong read. He would be like, man, make the right read, make the runner behind running back. I mean, I have that trust. I mean, he's one of the best linemen in the state, I think. So
that's awesome.
Just hearing that from him saying, yo, run this way, or if I throw an interception, he's the first one to be like, yo, you good? We got the whole game left. Got the whole game. It's actually,
that's awesome. You need to have somebody like that.
Yep.
Now, and what's it going to be like? Because you guys are both 18.
Yep.
You're twins, growing up together your whole life, inseparable. College is going to be different. You're going 2 different directions.
Yeah.
Like, how are you mentally preparing for that? Like, have you guys had big discussions about that? Like, how do you feel about that?
I mean, the biggest discussion was, are we ultimately going to end up at the same school? But, I mean, obviously, we turned 2 different ways. I mean, it was 2 different opportunities that we had to take. I mean, we had a lot of opportunities coming our way since, I mean, sophomore year of high school. So, I mean, hearing from the coaches, I mean, West Virginia will offer him, but won't offer me. And Minnesota will offer me, but won't offer him. So, I mean, it kind of we kind of waited around a little bit longer to commit. I mean, we could have committed junior year.
Yeah.
So, but we wanted to wait around and see if somebody would give us the same opportunity. We had our schools in mind, but I mean, some schools didn't come out, and we kind of waited too long. So,
was there any that gave you both the scholarship that you were looking for?
Yeah, it was like pretty much 3/4 of the teams, but it was like the teams that we really had eye opens. Like he would go to West Virginia, and I was like, oh, I really like West Virginia, and then the offensive coordinator would come and would say, oh, you got to come to camp, wait a little longer, but they would tell him to commit, and he didn't want to commit. So he went.
So there was never that right moment where both of you were set up well.
Yeah, it was not. It was the right moment at all.
That is one of the things that was really helpful for you, because I mean, reading your shirt essentials, fear of God, like one of those things that always helps me with making decisions and understanding like timing of everything, like especially for you and your brother going different directions, is like it's God's plan.
Yeah.
And you have to, be available to look for it and understand it and ask for it. Like, was that a big help for you as well?
Yeah, I mean, just going to sleep and just praying for it. I mean, just praying for opportunity and whatever God has a plan. I mean, God always has a plan for you. So, I mean, just walking in everything, just going praying and just keeping faith in God. I mean, obviously, I talk to him sometimes. I'm like, all right, you can come here or I can go there. But, I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, I mean, it's just the best situation for both of us as a whole. So, I mean, him going to Ohio University, me going to the Naval Academy, it's just it's God's plan. And then ultimately, I mean, it can be the best thing for us, or it can be something that we have to face, and we might be at a transfer portal and meeting up one day. So
there you go.
Which is the good news of the transfer portal.
There you go.
Yeah.
So the transfer portal will be lucky to have both you guys.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
So I have a more of like a mini question here. So you guys are obviously, both of you are multi-sport athletes. You guys play football, basketball, that kind of stuff together. Which one is not the one you're best at, but which one is your favorite to play?
I was actually growing up a huge baseball guy.
Really?
So when I think about pony year, I hit like a numerous number of home runs. I think I had 4 home runs in one game, and I finished off like 34
over the fence.
Over the fence,
home
runs.
Gosh.
So every time I came out the bat, I mean, I think it was times in the playoffs that they would intentionally walk me. So I'm like, I really can't do anything. But I think baseball was one of my first loves. But I mean, obviously, when I really realized it, like I had it in football was about like 8th grade when I went out there in my last year of junior high, and I was out there just dominating. And I was like, oh, I can really go far with this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just growing into it and kind of stepping away from the game of baseball, because I used to play travel ball and everything like that. So to step in the game for baseball and it's actually having my main focus on football, I mean, it was kind of hard to do, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, Andrew's a basketball guy though.
Oh, really?
He used to love basketball, shooting threes, doing all the celebrations.
He's got a good shot.
Yeah, he used to hit all the celebration and Nick Young celebrations.
Swaggy P.
Yeah, Swaggy P.
That's awesome.
I mean, his nickname's Swag.
Is it really?
Swag.
That's awesome. What's your nickname?
Oh, man. Everybody calls me Al, but I mean, growing up, so it was kind of funny. It was a stiff arm video on YouTube, and got a guy named Mark Jones. He actually started calling me Wallbanger. I don't know where he got it from.
Wallbanger?
Wallbanger.
I like it.
Okay.
So I stiffed arm like 4 kids in one play, and he was like, "Oh, Wallbanger, go Wallbanger!"
Can we find that play on YouTube?
Yep, you can find the play.
Oh, we have to watch that.
Yeah. First off, I watched your highlights from your senior year, last night before I went to bed. I'm gonna watch this. The first play they show, you throw this bomb. You're almost sacked like 6 times.
It was training game.
Yes,
that play was crazy.
You throw it across your body like 60 yards.
Yeah.
Like it was literally
in the air 60 yards.
Yeah,
not like a screen pass. This was in the air 60 yards.
He says, I was watching the video and he's like, I just kept waiting for the ball to come down. It never came down.
Yeah.
He's like, finally, I was like, oh, there it is.
Most people in high school, even if they're amazing, can't have the ball in the air 60 yards. I mean, that's ridiculous.
That play, I mean, if I walk you through that play, I mean, it's truly like, so.
Walk us through.
Yeah, please.
So we go to the line, and I mean, obviously, I see her in the 2 high, cover 2. So I'm like, all right. And it was usually supposed to be a run play. And I'm looking at my dad. I'm like, Dad, just call a quick game just to spread them out. I mean, there's 3 receivers, Z, Y, X. Yeah. So the Y receiver was just running a quick stick route. And if he had an option route, run a stick or just a seam right down the middle. So he ran that, and I automatically saw the blitz. So I called a blitz. I called a blitz counter, and we really didn't pick it up too well. So the linebacker came in. I had to like slide up in the pocket, and then actually the D tackle came at me. I had to give him a stiff arm and then sprint out the pocket. I thought I was just gonna run out of bounds, and I saw Darrell Caesar waving down there with his arms up.
Oh my god!
And it was, I think we were down 7 points there. It was like the big turning point. It was 3rd and 6, and I was just like, it's just all or nothing play.
Yeah,
you just got to make a play in the big games like this.
So So the best part about when you talk about that is like you're in your head like I'm going out of bounds.
Yeah.
But you still had the patience, and it's slow-mo to you and the vision to look downfield and see somebody 40 yards down the field open. Yeah. Like, to me,
crazy.
that's
crazy. Yeah.
That's where you are next level beyond your average or even really good high school player.
Yeah.
Like, you're next level when it comes to that because of that vision and that patience. Like, that's what's going to propel you, obviously, to where it has propelled you, and it's going to propel you to your next steps in your career, which is obviously you're heading to Navy, which we're going to get on that a little bit later. But
I had another mini question for you. Is there any significance to the numbers you picked? So you have in basketball, you're number 1, right?
Yep.
And in football, you're 9?
Yep.
Okay. Is there any significance to any of that?
So growing up, I was always a Cam Newton fan. So number 1 was always my go-to. I mean, I think my first year Bulldogs, when I actually started quarterback, when I started playing quarterback, I got number 1. I got the Cam Newton cleats. And ever since then, I was a Cam Newton fan. I mean, even when he got out the league, I mean, I used to always watch his old clips.
Oh, yeah, prime Cam Newton was amazing.
Oh, my goodness. He was
beast mode.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Superman,
I still remember when he jumped over the Cardinals in the NFC.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. I was jumping up and down. So, word number 1. And then actually, my sophomore year, Mekhi Flowers had number 9 on. And it's like an honorary number at Still High. There was a kid that passed away, Riley Mond. So, it's just like a tradition type of thing. And it gets passed down to like the best student athlete and stuff like that. It's like usually like special honored, picked, and everything like that.
That's amazing.
So I got picked, and I wanted to wear it, and this just wore it the rest of my career. And it's to have that honorary, and it's the type of. I mean, he was a quarterback, kicker. He was a really good athlete.
Yeah.
Played basketball, baseball. He was gonna be really good.
Jeez.
So passed away unfortunately at 16. So I mean, just to having that RLAM patch on me, and it's this type of character that you have to have with that number is just truly special.
So I have a thought, like when it came to growing up, like what's a little bit of like your background with your family, and like how has your family been instrumental not only in your growth, but obviously your dad was a coach, your brother was with you all the time, and like with God. Like, can you talk a little bit about that?
So just growing up, I mean, we always were the best at everything. We were pretty, like, this is a special talent at a young age, but there was a point in time that everybody caught up, everybody's size. I mean, I didn't start growing again until like 8th grade, so I was about like 5'5" and everything like that. And I used to go to my dad, I'm like, Dad, like, do I got to switch positions and everything like that? He always just tell me, just do with your heart, has passion, and pray at night. That's it. My grandpa used to always tell me to pray at night. My grandma too, pray at night, pray before you eat your food, and pray when you wake up in the morning. So, I mean, it was just this God's plan, and him having the courage and just to believe in me, and just to believe in myself that I could still play the game, play quarterback at any level, like at any level. So, I mean, just to having that type of faith and everything like that in myself, and just to having the patience. I mean, it's truly a match. I mean, it's super supportive as a family. This is coming up to you saying you just got to keep doing what you love. You got to keep doing what you love. Because at one point I was like, all right, I might switch over to linebacker because, I mean, I'm getting a little bigger. I mean, I'm not growing in a bit. So, I mean, my grandpa used to always say, I mean, your position is quarterback. So, I mean, you need to stay at quarterback and just become special. And I mean, if you're undersized, just perfect everything in your craft to make yourself as you might not be the fastest on the field, but you perfect everything at your craft. I mean, you're obviously going to be a really good player. So, I mean, it was just small things. It's like techniques, just following through, and it's the IQ level of the game. At a young age, I mean, in 7th grade, I knew what a cover 3 was.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just like the love for the game and the IQ level of the game. So,
yeah. I only know much about cover 3 from Madden. That's the reason I know. I used to play a lot of Madden back in the day. Sorry.
You're good,
John. So I saw a really cool picture. Speaking of your dad, I saw a really cool picture of you guys after winning your second state championship. I'm sure you know what picture I'm talking about. It's like all over the place. Yeah. What was it like going through, trial and adversity, and also huge victories with your dad and your brother with you? I mean, that had to feel really special.
I mean, just knowing all the up and downs from our career. I mean, there's pointed times. I mean, he's yelling at me in practice or in the film room, and there's times that he's going to bed. I mean, it doesn't matter when I'm in. If I have a bad practice or if I talk back at practice or anything like that, there was never a night that my dad never said this. He would yell at me and stuff like that, but he always tells me he loves me before I go to bed. So I mean, it's just hearing them words from your dad, just really, and in that moment, it was just running through my head, and that was like the first time I actually saw him cry.
Really?
At the end of the game, and he was just saying, "I love you guys. Just thank you for all these 4 years and everything like that." It was just a truly unmatched moment.
That's so cool.
I mean, everybody thinks it was scripted, but it was just like this a moment that we needed to have.
Yeah, it's a beautiful picture. I saw that and I was like, that's what all of this is about.
Yeah.
Like when I had my dad coach for me, those moments that I had to share with my dad as a kid, like were just the best moments of my life. And it's something that I'll always remember and hold on to dearly. Like it's just the greatest thing.
Yeah.
Let's kind of go back, and we already talked about that play against Trinity. Yeah. Is there another play or memorable moment that you can think of that was like your favorite in these 4 years at Steele as quarterback?
Ooh, that's tough. I would have to go back. I mean, I can give you numerous, but I think the one of the biggest moments were we played in the state semifinal of 2020. So the whole game, I mean, Bishop Guilford, a really talented team. They had a Penn State commit, Notre Dame commit. Wow. So we're playing against them, and they're not like a light. They won the state championship 3 times in a row. So they were like a 1A favorite back then before they moved up a classification. So we're going back, we're playing them, and the game I'm doing terrible. Like I think before halftime I had 3 interceptions. Okay. So going in the locker room, I'm stressed. I'm like, I'm 14 years old. I don't know what I'm getting myself thrown into. State championship
14.
14. 14.
Mind-boggling.
14.
Goodness, imagine.
No,
I get stressed out at Madden games at 14.
So I'm in the locker room. I have tears in my eyes because I'm thinking I'm ruining it for everybody and everything like that. But actually, Mekhi Flowers, as I talked about, he's at Penn State right now. He came up to me and was like, "Bro, you're gonna win this game for us, and you got to go out there and have the poise and then this confidence to go out there and win the game." Wow. So come down fourth and I think it was like 4th and 7, and I checked out of a play because it was I'm pretty sure they were in cover 1, but they were sending heat because I mean they were sending pressure the whole game. They knew I really couldn't run that year. I really didn't have confidence in myself running that year. So I told our wide receiver Tyrone Moore at the time just to run straight right down the seams, wide open. Yeah. And there was a guy covering him, pressing him, but on film I saw the whole time. I mean this is the love for the game at a young age. Just seeing that type of play, he's going to press the wide receiver and he's going to come. So just to be able to recognize that in such a crucial moment and hitting him right down the seam for a first down, and that was set us up for a potential game winner field goal to send us to the state championship game. So I would say that was just like another make or break moment, and it's a deciding factor on my young career, and that was just truly special to me.
So do you think that moment of like crazy adversity at 14, like did that lead you into a place where you were like, you know what, I can handle adversity in like a different way? It can make me better.
Yeah, I would definitely say that. And actually, before we always have mental days, and we always have like meetings before every time before school. I mean, all my 4 years we had some type of mental meeting or adversity plan. We actually have a adversity step plan, focus, job, effort. So just to keep yourself in wherever your feet is, that's where you are. If nothing else matters or anything like that, when you just stay locked in on one subject, it matters if you're in the classroom, in the community, being a good role model in the community, or being on the football field, trying to win a state championship. You always have that same mentality on focusing on one thing at a time. And that's what my dad always taught us as a team. I mean, I think that's why this 4 years was truly special, because the character that he built in us, and it goes unnoticed, but just the character that he built into us since a young age. I mean, it was just... I think that's like the main part of our success today.
Yeah, and having those role models, it just in life, the ones that I can look back on and that were the most influential to me, that's who changed me to be the man I am today. Like they were so instrumental in me being who I am, and we don't all get those role models. No, we don't. We don't all get those opportunities. Yeah. So I'm really glad you took that. Yeah. And you went with it because it's huge.
Yeah, and I think that thing you're clinging on to, what did you call it again? The grounding thing, the metaphor you gave, the touching ground something.
Oh, to like wherever your feet is. Yeah, that's where your focus is.
That is such an important way to bring yourself back to steady. Yeah, you know what I mean.
18 saying that.
That's insane. Yeah, yeah. Most people will never.
I might learn that next week. When I'm 44 and you're 18, yeah. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really really good, man. So. An award that Dan Marino won, by the way. So I'm a Dolphins fan, so that is like just ridiculous to say out loud. Is Sports Illustrated Player of the Year. So like, can you tell us first of all, like how did you find out that you were like nominated for that, and then how did it feel to be like, I'm actually potentially going to win that? Like that's so crazy.
So my dad actually, I mean, I didn't. So okay. this might be an embarrassing moment, but I didn't know Dan Marino was from Pennsylvania.
Are you serious?
Until this year.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these pros that were from PA.
Yeah.
And to the passing record, that's when I got introduced. I'm like, oh, man, he's from Pennsylvania? I never knew that. Like, just watching the game and actually going to quarterback camps and actually turn on his film and everything, I'm like, oh, man, I didn't know he was from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So it was kind of crazy.
Yep.
But this hearing, my dad actually told me the news. He was like, yeah, you're nominated for the Sports Illustrated one. I was like, man, Sports Illustrated, the magazine that you used to read? He was like, yeah. So I'm like,
that old thing?
Yeah, I was like,
they still make those?
That's what I was about to ask. I was like, oh, can I be on the cover? No, he was like, I don't know. But, and then I actually found out when I won, people were blowing up my phone. It's like 2:00 in the morning. And
No way.
I'm dead sleep and my phone's buzzing. I'm like, man, what's my phone buzzing for? And then like all these edits and everything like that gets poured out on the internet and they're sending it to me. They want interviews and everything. I'm like, man. And I think I didn't get off the phone that day because I went to school, but I was getting texts. I don't think I stopped getting notifications until like 3 days later.
Wow.
So I had to keep charging my phone. My phone was going down. I had to charge my phone was
Need a new iPhone?
Yeah, I'm like, man, this is crazy. But this being in the company with Dan Marino and the Pennsylvania legends, I mean, by itself, I mean,
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I mean, if I didn't win the award, I would still be quite proud.
Just to be nominated.
Yeah, just to be nominated.
Yeah.
But
And by the way, if you're enjoying this episode of the Good Hustle podcast, please go ahead, like the video, subscribe, and also, if you need any real estate help here in Central Pennsylvania, John and I would love to help you.
it's just crazy that I still can't believe that I won it.
Yeah,
today.
the fact that your name is in the same sentence as Dan Marino is
It's awesome.
insane, man.
Crazy.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, breaking all those records. It's really neat. So let's talk about with like, I'm a local celebrity.
Yeah.
You're a local celebrity. You are in reality. I am in my own mind.
Exactly.
So that's the big difference, okay? Let's just be honest here. When I met you a few weeks ago, we're watching football at a dear friend of mine's house. And his son and one of my other best friends growing up, son, Joey and Noah, are there, okay? And these are two younger kids, 13. Joey, how old are you now? 13 and 11.
He's at 11, yeah.
Yep. Okay. But you're a role model to them, right? These kids look up to you. There's kids, the community. I mean, I'm sure you have kids look autographs.
Yeah.
Like
Sure.
you are truly an inspiration for a lot of people. And the biggest thing that I noticed about you first was that you're humble. And humility comes with God, comes with grace.
Yeah.
Like, how do you stay humble with all of this going on?
I mean, I would say this. I mean, like you said, I mean, all the kids looking up to you, and I just don't want any of the kids going and to say you win like a district championship or something like that, and then you brag around because I mean, there's still a lot more room to grow. I mean, obviously, I was one of the best growing up, but I don't like to talk about that, and I really, when people look at me, I really don't like people saying, "Oh, that's the Division I quarterback, Alex Erby." I don't like that title. I just wanted to say, "Oh, that's Alex Erby," because I mean, it's that title by itself, just hearing my name. Because I'm just not a Division I quarterback. I'm a student to the game. I'm a student athlete, role model in the community, and everything like that. So I mean, I just don't like the title or anything like that. But just being able to teach the younger generation how to approach the game and the mental part of the game, because mental health is huge nowadays. I mean,
Big time.
So I mean, just come into a game and you might be dealing with something, and just teaching them ways to be able to deal with stuff like that and everything like that, and just being around. I mean, it can be the littlest thing, just learning how to talk right or greeting somebody the right way, and just picking up the trash if you see somewhere that's not supposed to be at. So I mean, just to be a role model in the young generation's life, I mean, it's just truly amazing.
And it really is. Like, and you said the small things.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell you how many people I grab their grocery cart in the parking lot when they're done unloading their groceries because I'm walking in anyway.
Yep.
Like, and I don't know how impactful that is on somebody's day, but it can be huge.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you're like, I don't want to be known as the Division I quarterback, Alex Erby. I want to be Alex Erby. When I think of you, I honestly think of you as one of the most humble people that I've met. Genuinely. And like, we went to your game the other day and I yelled Alex when we were walking by you, and you gave me a genuine, like, good to see you smile.
Yeah.
But you're in your moment on a basketball court, but you're still willing to do that. Because I got a nephew, Noah. He'll big time you. Like, right, Noah? Not that Noah.
Not that
I'm
Noah.
talking to
Other
the camera.
Noah.
Other Noah. And he'll big time you. But he does it as a joke. But anyway, like, to see you do that is just, that's the biggest quality I've seen in you. That is the most influential that I've seen so far. And I think that's awesome.
I would say just learning them lessons. I mean, just piggyback off that, just seeing my dad growing up and my grandpa and me. I saw my dad one time. I mean, it's Thanksgiving morning, And this is the lesson he taught me. I was around 11 years old, and this lady, her card kept declining. And then we're at the local dollar store, but she had everything to make Thanksgiving food. It was around like $80. So, I mean, he was just like, man, I can grab your groceries, everything like that. She started breaking out crying. She was like, you don't know how much this means to me. Like, there's some little moments like that. You don't know if that can make somebody's day. You don't know what they're going through or anything like that. So, I mean, just to see him put a smile on a lot of people's faces, and he was just like, he told me in the car, he was like, you just don't know what anybody's going through.
No, you don't.
And if he sees like an old lady walking and she's struggling with something, he was like, oh, get out the car and help her, and go out and help her. Let's go help her. I mean, there was a lady, but she lives right next door to us, and she locked her keys out. It's like 15 degrees on a December morning, and he's like, man, let's just go out and help her, because I can't ride past that. I mean, we were almost late to school, but he was like, man, I can't ride past that, because you don't know if she would have sat out there for 5 hours or even 30 minutes, because that's just something. I mean, that's just something that you just gotta. That's the things that don't go unnoticed.
Yeah, it just reminds me of the old Spider-Man quote: with great power comes great responsibility, right?
Oh,
and
yes.
I think it's really cool that you recognize, even at such a, like, recognizing at 18 is insane to me, because I'm still stupid and I'm 28. All right, so
I'm real stupid. I'm 44.
yeah. So I think it's so cool, man, that you recognize, like, you know what, I've been gifted a lot of skills. I've been gifted a great background. Like, my dad is a huge inspiration to me. And you're taking all of that and you're turning into something powerful for the community, and being, you know, the great person that you are. And I think that's so cool, man. I have another question for you. So when college came up, right? And when I'm sure you've been thinking about where you're going to go to school for years now, right?
Yeah.
How many recruiters did end up calling you, and how many of them kind of gave you an easy time with them, and promised you the world and stuff, and other people were like, you know, maybe you could sort of do this and that, and like what was your experience like through the whole recruiting process?
I definitely have my ups and downs, because I really didn't hear from a lot of schools my freshman year, but when the sophomore year, I really didn't. I got my first offer was actually Division II from Cal University. And I got a Kent State offer right after that. So, and then I had a break. So I'm like, why? I got 2 offers, so why aren't they coming as fast as they going? Because, I mean, this is a good thing. I mean, I was comparing myself to all the other quarterbacks in the country. I'm like, I'm seeing them getting big time offers from Alabama, Georgia, Texas A&M, and everything like that. I'm like, how? I'm on the same level as those guys. Like, why is my name not getting out there as fast as possible? And I saw a good quote. It said, "Comparison is like a thief of joy."
True.
So when you're comparing yourself to you're taking your time away from your craft, and you can be better in yourself, but you're focusing on another man. And like that's just something that I always kept in my mind. And junior year, this is when it gets crazy. Junior year, when I stayed up to 12 o'clock in the morning, that's when they start contacting you. So actually, my phone had 0 notifications at 11:59, and then after 11:59 to 12 in the morning, I actually had like 3 people calling me at the same time.
Wow.
So it was really crazy. And then I'm getting texts from James Franklin, freaking all the coaches you can think of on the Pitt.
Really?
It was crazy, because it's called a dead period. And
okay.
So, I mean, just hearing from all the schools, I mean, it's a blessing. But, I mean, Penn State, I went up there and threw in front of the coaches and everything, and then I came back and got my offer from Penn State. So, I mean, I had a really good relationship with Penn State and Pitt. Coach Zanetti offered me from Pitt, and actually, I pulled my hamstring at a Pitt football camp.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, so I was running a 40. I was running a 40, and Coach Narduzzi, he was like, man, you see your 40 time is really good. I was like, oh, for real? And he was like, you are limping a
And you're
little
allowed
bit.
to tell us what it was?
Huh?
You're allowed to tell us what?
Oh yeah, it was like a 4.75.
Okay.
So that's a really good time. He said, I didn't think you could move like that, because that's all the college coaches want to do is see you in person, is to see you run and move around, see if you're as fast as you are on film. And I really didn't run as much, so that's like really the main things they wanted to see. But I really couldn't throw in it. Like, I stopped the whole camp, and the craziest thing is he took me around campus and everything like that, just toured it.
Right.
So I mean, I would always respect that guy. I mean, obviously I didn't choose a school, but I would always respect that guy. But I mean, the recruiting process has its up and downs. I mean, some schools that you don't hear from that offer you, and then some schools that you never hear from start knocking at your door late. So I mean, it's just a patient. Like, you just got to have patience throughout the whole process and faith in God again. So I mean, I found my home. I'm thankful for it, and I mean, I just can't wait to get started with that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So working off of that, of course, the big question is, what made you choose Navy?
So Coach Yo, he offered me, I'm pretty sure it was last year around February, around this time. So I got the offer there, and I'm like, I really got these opportunities. I really don't want to look into it. I'm like, I don't want to go out there and shoot somebody. And I'm just thinking like, you got to go out and shoot somebody if you got to go in the military academy. So I'm like, all right. And then 2 months after that, he invited me down for a visit. So my dad was like, yeah, take this visit. And everybody's talking about how nice it is. I'm like, I'm not sure. Like, I don't think it's for me or anything like that. And as soon as I go down there, I just see the practice field in the water, basically right by the water.
Oh, it's right next to it. It's
right
awesome.
next to it.
Wow.
So just hearing this the love that they always gave me, and this the stuff that comes with the military academy. And I mean, it's a pretty stressful process to get accepted. I mean, I'm accepted already, but I still have to take my SAT. So I mean, this the stuff that goes with it and everything like that. It's something to definitely be proud for, because I mean, I'm not all for it, but I mean, you just have former veterans and everything like that is saying like thank you and stuff like that. That means the world to me. Just hearing like other older people coming and respecting me just from outside the game of football, like thank you for serving our country and everything like that. And I was always a person that wants to go out there and do better for people. And I mean, just to go out there and serve our country in a type of way like that after I played my 4 years is just, I mean, you can't really pass up an opportunity like that.
No, and I think just being a part of that academy, and you know, when you get to Annapolis, it's hard to not want to stay there. Yeah. Like I was there last Friday night. We talked about, I went to Ruth's Chris, and I think it'll be, and I said, I texted him, he's like, we were talking about how expensive that restaurant is. I said, you know what? I hope as a rookie you have to buy dinner for all your linemen there. I said, I hope
Hopefully
you
guys
do.
get enough NIL deals or something.
Exactly. So we have a fun little thing that we've never done before. Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
So Noah and little Joey, come over here and grab some seats.
Come over here. One of you can take John's seat. One of you can take this seat here. Okay. This is gonna be fun.
So we have trivia. Okay. It's Alex Erby versus the world in high school, basically. So
so it's a trivia game. So you guys have to guess who you think.
So little Joey, if you're gonna answer it, okay, smack the table if you're gonna win, okay? But I'm gonna have to give you this microphone if you win, okay? All right. So if you get the question. All right. So I want to go over his different stats. So all right. So 50 touchdowns in high school or 172. Which one's Drew Brees and which one's Alex Erby?
Drew Brees.
Well, smack the table.
Oh.
All right, so how about this? Just raise your hand if you think it's Alex, okay?
Yeah.
From here on out.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you think
Is
it's
it Alex or is it this person?
Or is it the next person?
All right, Jalen Hurts or Alex Erby, 34 touchdowns.
That's Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
That's not Alex.
Okay. Okay, so is it Aaron Rodgers or Alex Erby? Who had 57 high school touchdowns?
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Alex had way more than that.
Yeah. Alex had 170. Yes, career.
Yes.
All right, so
Alex
so
had
is
more
it-
than a season, I think, too, though.
So who is this? Is this Alex Erby or Caleb Williams? 6,333 career passing yards in high school.
Alex.
No, that's Caleb Williams.
Williams.
Alex had way more than that.
Alex had like 17,000 yards. All right. So Kyler Murray or Alex Erby, 100 touchdown passes total in high school.
Kyler Murray.
Correct. How many did Alex have? 172.
Kyler Murray was really good in high school.
Kyler Murray.
really good in high school.
Okay, listen to what Alex said. He said Kyler Murray was really good in high school. He had 70 less touchdowns. That's insane.
The whole point of this trivia is just to show how his stats are in high school. So here's a stat. So this player had 16,370 yards passing in high school. Nope, he had 17,000. Okay? And this player had 173 touchdowns in high school. Okay? He had 172. Now, this player that I'm talking about that was 16,173 was Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady combined.
Come on, dude. Are you kidding me?
Like legit
That's
stats.
insane. You had the same stats as all three of those GOATs combined.
Combined. All three of them.
Read the names again.
Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tom Brady's high school stats.
Come on.
That's hard. No, I did not know that. That's
7. Yeah, but he's been to like
that's
but he's been
crazy.
out.
Yep. Come on.
Combined.
Dude. Come
All
on.
right, so now the Polk High City Championship game against Polk High. You tied the record for TDs. Whose record did you tie?
Ooh.
It's It's Al Bundy. It's a joke.
It's a TV show. We're just kidding. If you're older watching this, you're gonna know what Married with Children, Polkai, Al Bundy. So
John had to explain what Al
I had to
Bundy
explain
was
it
to
to
me
him because you
earlier.
guys are all children. So that's our trivia. So you want to send us out?
Yeah, get over the trivia game, guys.
Come on, go.
Thank
The
you,
bottom
guys. You
line
guys
of
can go.
the bottom line of trivia is that Alex Erby's stats were better than everybody.
Yeah, they were
That's crazy.
insane.
Like
So
this.
yeah, just what the heck, dude? That's silly.
Like, I'm speechless. It's crazy.
I like those 3 stats combined,
Yeah.
and you still were better than.
That's crazy.
All right, so-
I was like thinking.
Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous. So, final 2 questions for you, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay. So, the Good Hustle podcast is all about mindset, being the best person you can be, being the best entrepreneur you can be. For you, it's about the best athlete you can be. We've had a
Student athlete.
student athlete, exactly. Yep. Yeah, and best person, of course.
Yeah.
And we had a movie director on here telling us about how he became great at what he did. So, big picture question. I want to know, what do you think about your mindset made you so great? Because there's a lot of great athletes, right? There's a lot of really athletic kids. You probably played against a lot of athletic kids who held themselves back because of their mindset, right? So what do you think made your mindset so unique and so good?
I would say just facing adversity at such a young age, and before I actually hit the spotlight in high school years. So I dislocated my knee my 8th grade year going into freshman football. So I started as a freshman, and just going over those 4 years and just facing adversity like that, and we didn't lose a football game, so we were on that little high pedestal for a little while. We won a 16-game winning streak, won 10 games because it was COVID season, won 10 games, state championship, then went to the next year with 6 games, and we lost. And just facing that adversity at such an early moment at my stage in my career, and it's reflecting on really that loss to Big Springs really reflecting on everything in my life. Like, okay, you're getting too high and you were getting talked about a little bit longer, and now you're snapped back to reality. So, this is them snapping back into reality moments like really saved me. And because, some kids don't have it. Some kids go to a prep school and never lose a high school game in their career, and they get to college, be like, oh man, play a close game, like, oh, I've never been in a situation before. I really don't know how to handle it. So, I would say just facing adversity all through stages of life, on and off the field, that's really propelled me into the person I am today.
Yeah, and I think that can kind of reflect off how Jalen Hurts was taken out, national championship game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tua was put in.
Yep.
Jalen then becomes a star at Oklahoma. Then he becomes a star for the Eagles. I'm not an Eagles fan at all. Yeah, and he ended up, his first couple years, like they were like, how's it going to feel to lose a lot of games because you're in the NFL? You've only lost 2 college games or something like that. And now he's lost a bunch, but he's still putting in the work and the effort. And that reminds me of you. Like, that's a very similar kind of backstory on that. And the things that you're saying, I got pretty emotional in the last comment you had, just because I can't even imagine what it would have been like for my life to have the mindset and the maturity level that you do at such a young age. You're talking about losing to Bowling Springs, you're 14. Yeah. Like, and your mindset at that age to want to grow is huge to me.
Yeah.
And the fact that you got a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old sitting behind you and you're telling these stories, and one of them's going to be the same age as you next year, the other one's only 3 years behind when you're telling these stories, like, that's huge for them to see. That's going to not only help, like, other kids around, but you're helping, like, family. And to me, it's really as good as it gets. And it's really the reason we asked you to come on the show. It wasn't about your accolades and your awards. It was about you as a person. Yep. That just goes with who you are.
Yep.
What is some advice that you have for others? Same thing, that they can learn their good hustle or do something big in their life like you've done in such a humble way.
I would say, back to the comment, comparison is a thief of joy. It doesn't matter who's around you. It doesn't matter if somebody's making $1 million, you're making $1,000. Just comparing yourself and putting your focus on somebody else will really affect your growth and your accomplishments in the future. So if you just focus on yourself and stay patient with the process and keep God first, obviously you're going to have some type of growth in it. You might not show it from 10 years from now, 5 years from now, it might only take a year. Just always putting God first, and just try to stay focused on you and stay true to you and make goals a reality to you. And don't really make them too high or too low in the process, and they'll eventually go up.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I can't thank you enough for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, this was really rewarding, and I loved hearing from you, man. I mean, this was so good.
Yep. So thank you all for the good hustle. We'll be releasing this episode. Will come out not this. What's the date?
I think the 12th.
The 12th. Yeah, February 12th. But thank you again, Alex.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys, for coming. It was awesome to have you all here. And
he said, "Follow me on Instagram."
Well, what is it again? At Joey Lauer, Lauer, just because nobody knows how to spell that. So, Lil Joey. We'll just say at Lil Joey.
Shout out Lil Joey.
And then we want to thank Noah Berkheimer for coming today, too. So, I'm glad we had a studio audience. And to me, this was one of the most rewarding episodes we've had. And just keep up your good hustle, brother. We appreciate it. Thanks, man.